Good morning. It's Thursday morning, and today we read from Matthew 12:15 through 21. And Jesus, aware of this, withdrew from there. And many followed him, and he healed them all, and ordered them not to make him known. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. Behold, my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved, with whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he will proclaim justice to the Gentiles. He will not quarrel or cry aloud, nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed he will not break, and a smoldering wick he will not quench, until he brings justice to victory, and in his name the Gentiles will hope. So it starts off and says, Jesus is aware of this. What is that? The verse before said the Pharisees went out and conspired against him, how to destroy him. So as we said yesterday, the Pharisees have this ongoing vendetta against Jesus, and he knows it. And so he tries to keep his distance a little bit. And he tells people constantly in Matthew and Mark, don't make me known. Don't tell everybody. Don't proclaim it. So on the one hand, he says, proclaim the good news of the gospel. And on the other, he's like, don't make a big deal about me being here because, well, no one knows why he says those things, but probably just so that he wouldn't be arrested prematurely. At any rate, Matthew ties this, as he so often does, to prophecy, and he ties it to Isaiah. My servant whom I have chosen. God has chosen Jesus to be his servant, put his spirit on him and in him, and he is proclaiming justice to who? To the Gentiles. And he's not going to make a big deal about himself. He's just going to work until justice wins, has victory. And the Gentiles will hope in his name. So that's good news for us because we're Gentiles, most of us. And so that's what Isaiah proclaims, and that's what Matthew affirms, that this is about Jesus. This is about him, and talks about how he is God's servant. And as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking there's one way you could read this, that God sort of chose Jesus and put his spirit on him for a while, and Jesus proclaimed all these messages, and then the Spirit left him, some say on the cross, which is an ancient heresy. Don't believe any of that. He's God incarnate. He comes down from heaven as part of the Godhead and is born in human flesh so that he can assume human flesh. And somebody centuries ago said, what is not assumed is not purified or saved. And so he took on our flesh and all of its issues so that he could save us and forgive us and bring us wholly and completely back to the Father. So he wasn't some nice guy that was chosen. He's more than that. He's God incarnate, and we should keep that in mind always. But he comes to proclaim justice not only for the Jews, but also for the Gentiles, so for the whole world. Thanks be to God. See you tomorrow.